Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss tibial nerve. In this video we are going to cover the origin, course, branches and clinical anatomy of your tibial nerve. So let's start. I have already discussed sciatic nerve in detail in a previous video. So sciatic nerve is the thickest nerve of the body and it supplies your posterior compartment of the thigh. It terminates by giving two branches, tibial nerve and common peroneal nerve. And in this video, we are going to discuss the tibial nerve. So tibial nerve is the larger terminal branch of your sciatic nerve and it arises above the popliteal fossa. Popliteal fossa, the diamond shaped fossa present behind your knee. After arising above the popliteal fossa, it passes downwards through the middle of your popliteal fossa and posterior compartment of the leg. Right? It passes downwards through middle of popliteal fossa and posterior compartment of the leg, then enters the sole of the foot by passing deep to flexor retinaculum. What is flexor retinaculum? Basically a fibrous flexor sheath which extends from your medial malleolus to attach to the medial surface of your calcaneum bone, right? And it binds the tendons of your deep muscles of back of the leg. It is basically keeping all the deep muscles, all the tendons of your deep muscles of the leg in position, right? It is a sheath, a fibrous flexor sheath, and there are tendons which pass deep to this structure. We'll discuss flexor retinaculum of the leg in detail in a separate video, right? So it passes deep to flexor retinaculum, right? And it divides into medial and lateral plantar nerves, right? So here it divides into medial and lateral plantar nerves under the flexor retinaculum. Right? What is the root value of your tibial nerve? It is same as that of sciatic nerve, as it is the terminal branch of your sciatic nerve. So its root value is L4 to S3 from the spinal nerves, right? Now coming to the branches of your tibial nerve. So we are going to study its motor branches and its sensory supply, right? So the motor branches of your tibial nerve, it supply all the muscles of your posterior compartment of your leg and its terminal branches, that is your medial plantar nerve and lateral plantar nerve, supply the muscles of your sole, right? So the muscles of posterior compartment of the leg is supplied directly by the tibial nerve, directly by the branches of tibial nerve, and the muscles of the sole is supplied by the terminal branches medial plantar nerve and lateral plantar nerve, right? The sensory branches of your tibial nerve supply the skin on the back of your calf, medial and lateral side of your heel, lateral border of the foot and the complete sole, right? So it is giving a sensory supply to back of your calf, medial and lateral side of your heel, the lateral border of the foot and the hole, right? As it is supplying the posterior compartment of your leg, so it is giving the sensory supply to the calf, and it is supplying the muscles of your sole, so it is supplying the sole also, the complete sole, as well as the lateral border of your foot and medial and lateral side of the heel, right? Coming to the branches in the popliteal fossa, the tibial nerve supplies your plantaris, lateral head of gastrocnemius, medial head of gastrocnemius. Then it gives some genicular branches to your knee joint. It supplies popliteus muscle. The branch to popliteus muscle also supplies your superior tibiofibular joint, right? Here it passes in the popliteal fossa, it passes adjacent to the popliteal artery, right? In the leg, it supplies soleus, flexor digitorum longus, tibialis posterior, flexor hallucis longus. So you can see here it is giving the tibial nerve is giving direct branches to your muscles of the leg, posterior compartment of the leg, as well as in popliteal fossa as well. It is supplying directly. It also gives a cutaneous branch, that is your sural nerve, right? Sural nerve is a sensory nerve in the calf region. Sura means calf, right? So it is a calf is your posterior part of your the posterior aspect of your leg, right? So the sural nerve is a sensory nerve in the calf of your calf region of the leg. It is made up of your branch from the tibial nerve as well as sural communicating branch of your common peroneal nerve. So the branch from the tibial nerve and the communicating branch from the common peroneal nerve, they together form the sural nerve, right? And it supplies sensory innervation to the skin of your calf, right? Coming to the terminal branches of your tibial nerve, the medial plantar nerve and lateral plantar nerve. So medial plantar nerve supplies your adductor hallucis, flexor digitorum brevis. Basically, these terminal branches are going to supply the muscles of your sole of the foot, as well as it is going to give sensory branches to the lateral side of your heel, lateral border of the foot, and the whole of the sole, right? So it is giving motor branches to adductor hallucis, flexor digitorum brevis, flexor hallucis brevis, first lumbrical. Lateral plantar nerve supplies flexor digitorum accessorius. It supplies your skin of the sole. Medial plantar nerve also gives sensory branch to your skin of the sole, as well as the lateral plantar nerve also gives sensory branch to skin of the sole. Then the lateral plantar nerve supplies abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi brevis, second, third and fourth lumbricals, all the interossei. What is interossei? Interossei refers to the muscles between bones, and there are many interossei in our body. It is basically the muscles that is present between certain bones. Then it supplies your adductor hallucis, right? So this was the motor and sensory supply of the sole of the foot, and with this we have done the branches, the origin and the course and the branches of your tibial nerve. Now we would study the clinical anatomy and the injury at different levels of the tibial nerve. The clinical anatomy part of your tibial nerve. So what would happen? What are the effects of the injury of the tibial nerve? Right? So tibial nerve can be injured due to any wound in your popliteal fossa or posterior dislocation of your knee joint, right? So if there is any lacerated wound in your popliteal fossa, or if the knee joint has been dislocated posteriorly, so the tibial nerve can be damaged. As we studied the course of your tibial nerve, there we studied that tibial nerve originates, the sciatic nerve terminates into tibial and common peroneal nerve just above your popliteal fossa, right? So in the popliteal fossa, the tibial nerve is basically arising. So here it is very much prominent to injury, right? So obviously if tibial nerve would be damaged, then all the muscles supplied by the tibial nerve would be affected, right? As well as the areas, the areas supplied by the sensory branches would also be affected, right? So what happened? The foot would be held in a position of dorsiflexion and eversion. So your foot is present on the heels and on its medial border, right? It is in a position of dorsiflexion and eversion, right? So what happens? It is due to paralysis of your muscles of posterior compartment of the leg. Obviously, all the muscles of posterior compartment of the leg is supplied by your tibial nerve. Since the tibial nerve would be damaged, then there would be no motor supply to the muscles, and hence there would be paralysis of your muscles of the posterior compartment of the leg, and the foot would be in dorsiflexion and eversion position. It is due to loss of prominence of your calf and tendocalcaneus, right? What is a tendocalcaneum? It is also known as your Achilles tendon. Tendocalcaneus is also known as Achilles tendon, and it is formed by fusion of your tendons of gastrocnemius and soleus muscle. So there would be loss of prominence of your calf and tendocalcaneus, and it is due to paralysis of your triceps surae muscle. So the gastrocnemius and the soleus is your triceps surae muscle, right? The gastrocnemius and soleus. Then the foot would be held in dorsiflexion. So obviously there would be loss of plantar flexion of the leg of the foot, and it is due to paralysis of your flexors of your ankle. As we saw that medial and lateral plantar nerve supplies your muscles of the sole, right? So since the tibial nerve would be damaged, then the motor supply to the flexors of your ankle would also be affected. So therefore there would be paralysis of your flexors of ankle. Then there would be inability to stand on the toes, and it is due to loss of plantar flexion of your foot, right? Then coming to the sensory supply, there would be loss of sensation in the sole and on the dorsal aspect of the distal phalanges, right? So the area that is supplied by your tibial nerve, there would be loss of sensations, right? Then next is your tarsal tunnel syndrome. So we have studied carpal tunnel syndrome in the upper limb. So similarly we have tarsal tunnel syndrome in the lower limb, and it occurs due to compression of your tibial nerve in a tunnel, right? So similarly in the carpal tunnel syndrome, the median nerve would be compressed in your carpal tunnel, right? There would be compression of median nerve. And in the tarsal tunnel syndrome, the tibial nerve would be compressed under your tunnel, which is formed by the flexor retinaculum of the ankle. Flexor retinaculum is the fibrous sheath under which the deep tendons of your leg passes, and it holds the tendons of your posterior compartment of the leg in place, right? And the patient presents with pain and paresthesia in the sole of the foot, which sometimes become more bad at the night, right? Which becomes worse at the night. So the patient presents with pain and paresthesia in the sole of the foot. What is paresthesia? Paresthesia is basically a tingling or pricking like sensation, an abnormal sensation, tingling or pricking like, right? Lastly, we have Morton's metatarsalgia. It is also known as your plantar digital neuroma. What is neuroma? Neuroma is pinching of your nerve. It is also referred as nerve tumor, right? So here you can remember it as pinching of your nerve, right? So what happens in Morton's metatarsalgia? As you can see in this picture, this is medial plantar nerve and lateral plantar nerve, the terminal branches of tibial nerve, going to supply the skin of the sole of the foot and the muscles of your sole, right? So here medial plantar nerve is dividing into digital plantar nerves. The lateral plantar nerve as well, it is supplying into digital plantar nerves. So what happens? There is formation of a neuroma, that is your pinching of the nerve, because of the pressure on one of these plantar digital nerves, right? So as the plantar digital nerve is going to bifurcate into the toe clefts, as it is going to bifurcate, it is going to divide at one of the toe clefts, there is a pressure on these nerves, and due to that there's formation of a neuroma, right? And it mostly affects your plantar digital nerve that is running between your third and fourth metatarsal, right? The third and fourth metatarsal. This is your third metatarsal and this is your fourth metatarsal. So mostly the plantar digital nerve between the third and fourth metatarsal, just before bifurcation at one of the two clefts, there occur pressure, and due to which there is formation of the neuroma, right? And the patient presents with pain on your plantar aspect of the forefoot between the third and fourth metatarsal, right? Plantar aspect means the foot that is facing the ground, right? The aspect of your foot that is facing the ground. So there is pain on the plantar aspect of your foot between the third and fourth metatarsal. So this was your Morton's metatarsalgia, and it is also known as plantar digital neuroma, right? It is known as plantar digital neuroma. So with this we complete the origin, course, branches and the clinical anatomy of your tibial nerve, the larger terminal branch of sciatic nerve. In the next video we would cover the common peroneal nerve. The common peroneal nerve is the smaller terminal branch of your sciatic nerve, right? So if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.